Hello everyone and welcome to the Reddit Railway. My name is Victor and I'll be your driver. Today's destination is r/relationships. Our first story is actually another update to this video. I was hoping the OP would come back with any new developments and they have, so let's check them out. All aboard! We found our biological daughter. She was in foster care. I don't think it's going to surprise a ton of people that the hospital we had her at wasn't in the best area. She was taken home by a family who ended up under investigation. Apparently, when she was proven to not be their biological child, she was taken by the state. I feel terrible for that family, but at the same time, so grateful to have found her safe and alive. We've started the adoption process immediately, and thanks to the settlement we got from the hospital, we now have pretty significant resources. Our lawyer said we could have gotten more in court, but honestly, we and the hospital wanted this to end quickly and quietly. I don't know what we're going to do about the other family. My biological daughter doesn't seem to remember them very well. I don't really want to involve them if I don't have to, but I know it's morally wrong to not let them know what happened. I know how horrible they must have felt. For now though, I'm focusing on my daughters and planning a beautiful life. Regarding our other daughter, we told her we still love her very much, and she seems ecstatic she'll be getting a sister. Here's hoping that works out. We're planning to move away in a few months. We found a wonderful place in a good school district a few states away, with plenty of room for our family to grow. And finally, my husband. I love him more than anything in the world, and he loves me. We've been through hell and come out the other side. We are not interested in breaking up. He deleted his Reddit account and promised that he's going to trust me from now on. He says our child being switched at birth is more likely than me cheating on him. I love him so much. We're going to be okay. This will hopefully be the last time I use this account. Thank you to everyone who reached out with help and advice. I'm so glad they found their daughter. It's a shame she ended up in foster care, but if she was taken away from the other family, there must have been a reason. I do feel somewhat sorry for them though. What a way to find out you were raising someone else's kid. It wasn't all that clear in the post, not to me anyway, but was OP's other daughter theirs? Was it just a straight swap, or is she someone else's child entirely? I wonder if they'll ever find out, but it doesn't really sound like they want to. It's clear they love her, and it's adorable she seems excited to be getting a sister. It's also great OP and the husband are staying together. Still, I can't ignore the fact if it wasn't for the husband's suspicions, they might never have found out any of this. Like I said in my last video, he was wrong about his wife, but right about his daughter. So does being half right make it okay? I don't know. But like OP says, they're going to be alright. Best of luck to them and the daughters, and screw the hospital for their fuck up. I came out of a long relationship in January last year. 3 weeks later, I went on a date with a girl I met online. Something to note, I'm European and she's Asian. We had a great time and soon became a couple. After being together for only a month, I moved to another country for my job. I had already been planning this. We stayed together via Skype, DMs, etc. A few months later, when her visa expired, she joined me. It seemed like a good idea to let her stay with me since we were getting along so well and the new city is expensive. I didn't ask her to pay rent for the first few months as she didn't have a job. Now she's paying and is on the lease. When we first started living together, I found out pretty quickly that she has very strong emotions during her period, at least stronger than other girls I've spent a lot of time with. Normally she gets very depressed, but she also shouts and blames me for a lot of our problems. To be fair, some of these are true. I've tried to be accommodating with movie nights, massages, flowers and chocolates. I do all I can to comfort her. In the days leading up to these times, I tactfully tell her I cannot engage these tantrums, for lack of a better word, and we have to wait until she calms down. I feel like a bit of an ass, but sometimes I just have to leave because she gets so upset. Afterwards, we can normally resolve the issue. I don't think she likes this. She'd rather hash it out in a big argument, but that just doesn't work for me. I can't function in a heated discussion. I can basically deal with all this. I just thought I'd mention it as it seems relevant. Now we get to the main issue. This month she has been more upset than usual because her student visa expires in 6 months. It's also coming up to her birthday and our 1-year anniversary. As an Asian, she doesn't feel like there is any way she can continue to live in Europe as she can't find a job. She's asked me for advice. I suggested we do some research to see if there's a way she could get a visa. This would give her more time to find work, and I promised to do all I could to help her. After spending a whole evening coming up with options, she burst into tears and asked why I hadn't considered marriage. My response was something along the lines of, I know that's an option, but I only want to marry for the right reasons. I'm just not ready at the moment, but I'll help with the visa any other way way I can. This did not go down well. She was offended that I thought she only wanted to get married for a visa. She said she is sure I'm the one and is ready to marry. She wants to do it now because it will conveniently solve her problem. She then asked if I don't want to get married now, then when? Why is 1 year not enough time to think about it? If she had to leave, would I care? If I love her, I should do anything to keep her. I admitted I hadn't given marriage any thought and that it was unlikely I'd make such a commitment in the near future, and since she was crying and shouting at me, I couldn't really think clearly. This was a few days ago. Now I think about it, I feel pretty much the same. I love her. I like being with her. I can imagine a future together, but I'm not ready to commit. I told her as much and she does not accept this. She thinks I will never commit, says she deserves more than what I show her. I'm sure she's in love with me, but I also think she's less experienced when it comes to relationships. She's only had 3 that I know of, with the longest being 2 years. She also never lived with any of them. What should I do? Easy. Run. OP, your girlfriend is not only using you, she's gaslighting you. No one should be pressured into getting married. If you don't want to, then don't. And your girlfriend is a hypocrite. She snaps at you for implying she only wants to get married for a visa and then admits tying the knot would solve that problem. She's got some bloody nerve. Admittedly, I get she might be frustrated and a little scared. It can't be easy building a life in a new country only to risk losing it, and moving in with your partner is a pretty significant milestone, but the fact she only brings up marriage now and not after the visa issue has been resolved is very telling. OP, don't give in to this woman. Kick her to the curb. It'll hurt, but you'll be better off. There is an update to this post, so let's see if that's what happened. One of the comments really hit home. If thinking about marriage makes you say anything other than, fuck yes, you shouldn't do it. End of discussion. Anything else is a secondary concern. I then took some time to think about my life. I realized I do want to marry and have children, but I don't want to rush into it. I want to be sure to find the right person. Sadly, that isn't my girlfriend. So we broke up. I don't know what would have happened if we had stayed together any longer, but I honestly don't think my feelings would have changed for the better. It was really hard to do because there was nothing specifically wrong in our relationship. I just couldn't imagine a future with her. She was really upset. I tried to explain, but she was too emotional to listen. I think now she has begun to accept it. I still feel a bit bad for not having a solid reason. I would also say that it's not just about the marriage issue. That was simply the catalyst to make me think this through. The past month has been tough on her. She's moving out of our apartment bit by bit, and I feel terrible for hurting her. She will probably move to another country in a couple of months. I'm confident I've made the right decision for both of us, and I hope she will come to see it that way. I'm happy to have some space to myself to figure out what I want from a relationship. Excellent. I mean, it's sad how things ended, but it is for the best. I'm glad OP was able to figure out what he wants for his future. Hopefully that kind of clarity will mean he can find someone who won't use him like his ex. Regarding the ex, if she does move to another country, I pity the next poor bloke she nabs. And going completely off topic here, I find it baffling how easy moving across Europe sounds. Here in Australia, being an island and so far away from everything, visiting another country isn't like popping down to the shops. Which reminds me, I need to get milk. I should do that now before I forget, so I'll end the video here. Thank you for traveling on the Reddit Railway, and thank you very much for 9,000 subscribers. We hope to see you again soon.